Chat. All right.
Damn, hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix. You are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. What's up? How is everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know. What's going on? TikTok, you guys are on the phone. If you want the best viewing experience, you know where to go. I'm live everywhere right now, and you have lost your privileges until September 30th, 2025. I will not be streaming my charts on TikTok until September 30th, 2025. And if you do it again, it's an even longer probation. So it is a privilege, not a right. You understand me? You understand me? Some folks in the yeah, that's good. That's good. Listen, the people saying that have been saying that since, 2022. It's fine. Nothing quite like promises. Nothing quite like price to change. Price action. Hit legs. Feels good. Let's go, Jay. Oh, what's up, Ski? What's up, fam? Skied for me. Hello, happy Monday. My mom is letting me watch Ski. Let's go. Solnick 100X. Let's go. Solnick's my favorite potential 100X. Do you think bull run is over for altcoins in 2025? I do not think that. No, I do not. Do not. Basically, this is the same setup right now as the war in Israel. Right now with the tariffs, this is what we talked about a lot. Have the exact same setup. And when we look at 2021... When we look at 2021, it was the same thing. So January of 2021, if you look at the total three, the total three was at their bear market lows. And it wasn't until Bitcoin already did a 10x and pulled back 40%. That was when the alt season actually started. That was when the alt season actually started. What did we do? It wasn't you, Jay. There's a couple of knuckleheads who they want confirmation bias. They want me to tell you sweet nothings. They want me to confirm bias, whatever you feel. Meaning, if you sold the bottom, you want me to tell you sweet nothings that was a good idea. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I will tell you exactly what I think. Right, wrong, indifferent. I will tell you, live and die by my own sword. And if you want me to confirm your bias and tell you sweet nothings that it's going to be okay that you sold the bottom, this is the wrong channel. So you might as well keep scrolling. So that's what it is. And every time I stream my charts, these idiots, they want me to do this, and I'm not going to do it. My channel is not for everyone. I get it. I rub some people the wrong way. I get it. Blurry on my end. What's blurry? Is my camera blurry? Is that real? I don't think so. I think we're good, Cliff. Is it blurry? No, we should be good. Should be good. Clear. Someone said thoughts on April 2nd. Okay, my thoughts on April 2nd is very clear. I have very clear thoughts on April 2nd. There are lots of events coming up this next week, right? So next week is going to be a big week. So we have the tariffs go into effect. You have the I think it's the unemployment rate comes out, right? Jobs reports. There's a lot of reports. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure job reports comes out the same week. There's a few different things coming out this week, and most people are anticipating it's going to be bearish. That's a good sign to me. And so the saying is, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what you do when things are bullish. So meaning, if you have foresight and you know that a company or a project or certain legislation is going to happen, right? You buy that rumor, and when the event actually happens, it's a sell the event type deal. That's what happens when it's bullish. So what do we know is happening? It's a bearish event, right? So what's the reverse of buy the rumor, sell the news when it's bullish? It would be sell the rumor and buy the event. And so that's what I think. And I think that a lot of people expect all this data to be bad. And I have a feeling that it's going to be very good data. And we're going to be turning around very, very, very soon. And in fact, April, historically for Bitcoin, is the second most bullish month that exists in crypto. The average return for Bitcoin for with over 10 years of data is 38.6% ROI in April. Is that a guarantee? No. Nothing in life is a guarantee, but this is 10 years of data. April and November are the strongest performing months, period. Period. They want you to say bull run is over, Ski. I know. I'm not going to do it. I'll say it's over when it's over. I'll say it's over when it's over. When are we going parabolic run on altcoins? When all of retail is done. No alt season. That's what they said in 2021. That's what they said in 2017. They said the same thing, right? This is not my first rodeo. I've been in crypto for a decade. I've been in this game for a decade. Guess what? The total 3 in 2021. Let me say this for you loud and clear. February of 2021. February of 2021, the total 3 were at their bear market lows. Let me show you. By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, head over to the tube. I'm live there with my charts if you want the best viewing experience. You guys have lost your charts privileges because you guys don't know how to act. You guys do not know how to act, so you've lost your chart privileges. Look. January, February. We're much closer to the bear market lows than we were actually going parabolic. It wasn't until Bitcoin did a 10x and had a 30% correction. Sound familiar? What's Bitcoin down right now from the top? From the top to the bottom. 38% correction. What did it go back in 2021? Oh, no. I lied. Hold on. That's the total 3. From the top to the bottom. Just now. $29, call it 30%. 30% correction. What happened in 2021? What happened in 2021? 32% correction. But it's different, Ski. It's different. Don't you think the new tariff news will tank the markets? That's what everyone thinks. When everyone thinks something, guess what? They're wrong. I just said what I think. Sell the rumor, buy the event. So you buy the rumor, sell the news when it's bullish. So if there's a yin, guess what? There's a yang. What's the opposite of it? If it's a bearish expected event, it would be sell the rumor, buy the event. Sell the rumor, buy the event. A negative narrative can be negative for so long. Just like the war in Israel. World War III was crammed down our throat in 2023. That can be negative for so long until it's not. Until the market gets used to it. That's it. Markets, listen, this is one thing you need to understand. It's not the event that markets don't like. It's not the event. Say it with me. It is not the event that the markets do not like. It is the uncertainty that the markets do not like. I would argue the market is pretty certain, pretty clear that tariffs are here. Pretty clear, pretty certain that tariffs are here. No matter how you like the orange man or don't like the orange man, guess what? World War III was not worse. Or excuse me, was worse than tariffs. The tariffs were not worse. They are not worse. They are not worse than the tariffs. They're just not. I'm sorry. That might trigger some people. It's just not. Should I file my XRP bag? Should I fill my XRP bag or wait until Wednesday? I mean, XRP is fine. I think it goes to $5. I think there's better values, but I think it's all right. You know, if you're holding XRP for 10 years, I think it's a great value. If you're watching on TikTok, head over to the tube and let me know you did, and I'll shout you out. You're good. My wife's boyfriend said the start of the bull run will be October, November. Boom. I know you don't do patterns, but Bitcoin set an inverse head and shoulders at the current bottom. Well, there you go. That's something. I don't do patterns, but, you know, that's something. Especially before the weekend sell-offs. So when was that? So this was the election, right? November. I would have to agree. I mean, man, this is a very similar structure too. So I think it's a similar structure too. It was a I would like to look. Was we getting weekend sell-offs after the war in Israel? Because I don't know. Okay, no. We were not. Thursday, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, yeah, definitely getting weekend sell-offs. Saturday, yep, weekend sell-off, weekend sell-off. This one was not, so this one was a week. This one was a week sell-off. Maybe it's the last pullback. I think it's structurally the same as the war in Israel, but I would agree with you sentimentally. It's just like so much uncertainty. I would agree with that sentiment. So much uncertainty and negative. Bull market's canceled. I would agree with that. What do you think about XCC? I like XCC. Are we bullish for April, dog? I am. And the history would tell us that so is Bitcoin. The average return, 10 years of data. 10 years, not 1 year, not 2 years, not 5, not 7. 10 years of data. The average return for April is 38.8% return on investment. Let's see what we would be at if we did half of that. Let's see what we would do if we were at all of that. So if we're at half of that, we'd be at 98,000 and put us back in the most bullish posture. If we just do half of that in April. If we do all of it, we're at a new all-time high, 114,000. My beard is safe, basically. Bear Market Crypto says anyone in a studio is paid by BlackRock. Who? Who? Are you talking about the guy who told his 150,000 audience members at $16,000 that we were going to $3,000? Is that the same guy you're talking about? Or how about the guy who, when Bitcoin pulled back from 25K to 20K, he told his 150,000 audience members that Bitcoin was going to 3K to sell now at the bottom? Are you talking about the guy who thinks that being accountable for your mistakes is a negative thing? Is that the guy we're talking about here? Are you talking about the guy when Bitcoin pulled back from 31K back to 25K, he said it was going to 3K for sure? Are we talking about the same guy? I love you, Ski. I love you too. We will have an alt season before the summer. We'll have a run of sorts. I don't know if it's going to be like the alt season. I think we get into euphoria October, November. That's what I've said since 2022. Since 2022, that is what I've said. That we get into euphoria October, November of 2025. I've said that since 2022. Now, I do think that there's going to be a solid run. So my prediction is a 50% move on the total three. So Bitcoin's average return in April is 38%. To say that the total three is going to do 50% is not crazy. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that the total three is going to do a 50% move between now and April. Some things will absolutely 2, 3, 5, 10x from here. But I'm not going to call this the euphoric moments. As of right now, the total 3 is just making a higher low, and so is Bitcoin. If we break the higher low structure, then we can talk. As of right now, this is playing beautifully into my theory that this is the same structure as the war in Israel. And this is what I mean. If you want to look at the charts of what we're looking at, head over to the tube. I'm live right now to all you TikTokers, because TikTok has lost its privileges from me. You will not be seeing my charts on TikTok for the next 6 months. So I suggest you head over to the tube and subscribe. On the top, we have what I'm calling the tariffs. And on the bottom, we have the war in Israel. Psych. We'll leave this here. That's fine. On the top, we're going to do the war in Israel, though. It's the same exact structure. Same structure. And in my opinion, this is the first little higher low right here. So this is where exactly, listen, this is exactly where I think we are. This is exactly where I think we are. You hear me? Exactly. Right here. Boom. Right there. That's where we're at. All right, so you have a peak right here. Let's get it lined up perfectly. A peak, a peak. A higher peak, a higher peak. Your crick, boom, take it all, selling climax. Boom, take it all, selling climax. Secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. You make a high, and then a higher low, and then a higher low. This is where I think we are. We might be here. I think we're right here. I think we have one more higher high and one more higher low to go. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think we're right here. This is the same pullback to me right here. We need to get one more higher high. I don't know what the percentage move is. This is a 10% move in a couple of weeks. So if this were to hold true, that's what we would expect. About a 10% move. 10, 12% move. I'm on the market cap right now. And then come back and make a higher low again. What was the percentage move from the higher low to the higher low? It was about 2% higher. So 2% higher of 82. I don't know what that would put you at. But that's exactly where I think we're at. Just join. You feeling bullish for April, May? I'm feeling bullish for April, May. Can you get December numbers in April? Yeah, so December is the same. It's basically the same. Well, no, that was kind of an anomaly, actually. Most of the time, it's November is the really, really good numbers. And we did get that in 2024. We got just out of nowhere. Boom, election. Boom. That's when we made our all-time high. They said, but it's the election. But it's like, damn, we have 10 years of data that it does this every time. It does it every time. But there you go. This is exactly where I think we're at. Higher low right here. I think we probably get one more higher high, one more higher low before we get our breakout. We might be right here. But I think it's more likely that this is the first higher low right here. This is the same structure. Because you can see it. Like, you even have this move to the upside. The move to the upside. The secondary test is after the move to the upside. The secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Then you get your higher low. Then you get your higher low. Boom. Boom. That's where I think we're at. We're right here, in my opinion. We'll probably get one more higher high, one more higher low, and then a breakout. That's what I think. So we'll see. April, 40%. 40% average, 38.8. 38.8. What do we got here? Could you encourage us all in VET too? I like VET. VET is one of my top blue chip value plays right now. There's no way more money supply is captured out everywhere. No one has money. Jason, please elaborate to me when the last time that retail led the markets on any asset. Please elaborate. I would like to learn. I'm all for learning. If I don't know stuff, like let me figure out some stuff, but please elaborate over the last 100 years that retail, because that's who you're referring to. You're saying people. You're not talking about institutions. You're saying people. When was the last time that people led the market on anything? Any asset, gold, silver, stocks, crypto, tulips, I don't care, real estate. Let me know the last time over the last 100 years that retail led the market one time. It's never happened. And it never will happen. Listen, retail doesn't get involved. They don't get money until it's too late, until it's time to transfer their money to the institutions. Here you go. Woo! Glad I don't have that no more. That's how it works, not the other way around. Not the other way around. You're thinking like retail. You're not thinking like who runs the actual show, which is Apex Predators. It's not retail that runs the show. It never has. Don't you think the new tariff will tank? Listen, bro, I answered your question 76 times. Quit spamming it. No. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what you do with a bullish event. So what's the opposite of bullish? If you know that an event is going to happen, sell the rumors, buy the event. Are we pumping into the news or are we dumping into the news? You let me know. You let me know. Is there actually a death cross? There will be a death cross soon. But I just made a video. I made 2 videos on that. Do you think the bull run is over? No, I do not. Ski, do not abandon TikTok. Solnick needs you. I'm not abandoning TikTok. I'm still here. You're just not getting my high quality charts for the next 6 months. If you want the high quality charts, I'm on YouTube. V-Chain, big move before November? I think so. I love to know your thoughts on ZBEC. ZBEC looks fine to me. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin dominance in relation to the top of the bull run? Bitcoin dominance to me is working on distribution. So yes, that is definitely a thing. And that's one of the reasons I'm so confident that the bull run is not over, because bull runs do not end with Bitcoin dominance being on a straight line to Valhalla like it's been. That's not how bull runs end. So it looks like we're getting an upthrust. So to me, this is your, and I'm going to show it to you. This is your buying climax, your automatic reaction, your secondary test, your upthrust, and it looks like we're getting a UTAD. That's what it looks like to me. So I'm going to show you textbook what distribution looks like. It looks like we're getting the UTAD. So buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. Let's show it. Buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, sign of weakness. You upthrust. Sign of weakness, upthrust, and then you get your UTAD. UTAD goes higher than the upthrust. Upthrust goes higher than the buying climax. This to me is distribution. Distribution. And this is how the story is going to end, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go to 30 or 20, but we're at least going to go to the low 50s. AVAX, 2 to 300. Best property tokenization token. I was checking out Proppy. I think it's probably Proppy. Is it a good idea to hold on View World? I don't know anything about that. Are there whales just waiting on April 2nd to start buying in? Probably. Hey, brother, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. What's your price target on the total crypto market? See, this is the right kind of question, Julian. This is the right kind of question. So, my prediction is low, medium, high. Low, medium, high total market cap. 4.2 trillion. Bear case. Medium, 6.6 trillion. Bull is 8.8 trillion. Thanks for subscribing, Found, and Allison. Thanks for subscribing, you savages.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Is low 50s enough for euphoria? Yes, I do think so. That would be that would be where I That would be where you would have an argument of saying, like, so the argument right now is there's a million coins. There wasn't a million coins. Once we get into the 50s, now that argument holds some weight. Now that argument is good enough to be like, we're not actually going to go to, 20 or 30. Although it's in reality, that should be more of an argument that Bitcoin loses even more dominance, not the other way around. But I'll listen to that argument at 50, not at 60. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to that argument at 50, not at 60. Is the same wallets buying Solnic new holders 2,907 70 holders a long time? That's right, Jay, because Solnic was pulling back, right? Because nothing goes up in a straight line forever. So the fact that it held the line on holders, some holders left and some new holders accumulated. So really what happened in the grand scheme of things is most of the time when you pull back like this, most of the time you're going to lose a lot of holders. We really didn't we really didn't lose holders, as you just mentioned. We had pretty much held the line. So to me, long term, this is a really, really good sign. And as we make a new all-time high, nothing will create new holders like a new all-time high. I wish it wasn't that way, but that's just a fact. That's just a fact. But I like where we're at. It's been a clean breakout and a back test of the prior range. So this is a very, very clean setup to me for Solnic. Very, very clean. But yes, that to me, it's very I've never seen a coin ever as it's pulling back add holders. So really, realistically, what happened is some holders left and some new ones were added and the number balanced out. But as we continue to rise in market cap, more and more holders are going to be added. Unk got a skin fade. It's not a skin fade. Should I long uni? Is Dynex still a good buy? I think so. XRP update. We're going to 50K first, then up? No, not first. It's possible, but not first. Ski, was it a mistake to buy VeChain over the weekend if you say Death Cross is coming? Watch my video on the Death Cross. Death Cross has such a negative connotation, but when you look at the data, that's not real. Every single... Okay, let me just give you the... I'm going to give you the synopsis of the video, but check out the video because I really go in it. But there have been 8 death crosses in Bitcoin's the last 10 years. There have been 8 death crosses. 8 of 8, the local bottom was in. 8 out of 8, the local bottom was in, and it did a 30% move to the upside within 30 days. 7 out of 8, it did a 30% move to the upside within 30 days. 2 of them, it made a new low. 1 of them, it took 200 plus days until it made a new low, and the other one, it made a new low within 30 days. But that one that made a new low, it did a 40% move before it did a new low. The other 5 were outright bullish. Minimum of 1x within 90 days. So Death Cross has a very negative connotation, but the facts do not support that. Can you explain Death Cross? Death Cross means that the 50 moving average crosses the 200 moving average. That is a death cross. That is a death cross. And it has the word death in it, so people get really freaked out by that. But in reality, when we look at the data, the facts, the history, that's not real. We just did this yesterday. So check out that video. But that's the short version. Is it's happened 8 times in 10 years. Every single one of the 8 times the local bottom was in. 2 times, number 2 and number 6, it made a new low. The rest of them were either neutral or went minimum 1x. Some of them did as much as a 10x after the death cross. Most of them, the five of the times, never touched a new low. The local bottom was in and never made a new low. Never, to this day, never made a new low. So check out that video. Should I sell now? If you like selling the bottom. Lakers in 5. How far Sonic go to? Are you talking about Sonic or Sonic? Thoughts on Chainlink? I like Chainlink. It's in my kid's portfolio, so that means it's a 10-year play for me. That means it's a 10-year play for me. One final dump. That's what everyone's calling for. In my opinion, 76K was that. What do you think before 2-week climbs? Your coin, I mean. SOLNIC. Should I wait till long uni? I think uni's a good value right here. It depends on your leverage. You know what I mean? There's no like, okay, yeah, you're safe with 100x leverage. No. Kava price prediction. I haven't looked at Kava. It looks like it's working on accumulation here. What is the tokenomics on this? Market cap, FTV. So it looks pretty good. So yeah, I think this is working on accumulation. So retracement is 580. That's a 10x. I mean, you'll take that all day, twice on Sunday. Even to the 0.5 is a 10x. So yeah, I would de-risk here, definitely. But I think it definitely has 10x in the cards because that's the retracement. There's not. I would keep an eye on the FTV. Right? Make sure they're not dumping supply. But as of right now, they haven't. But as long as they don't dump supply like crazy, I think that it can definitely get to that number. So keep an eye on the FTV. If it wants to go parabolic, I mean, damn, that'd be crazy. $23. But, I mean, I think realistically, the 480 mark is more realistic. We're in a bear market. No, we're not. I just made a video. 4 reasons that the bear market has not started. You need 4 things to transpire in order to have a bear market. Spoiler alert, we have 0 of the 4. 0. Not 1, not some, not 2. 0! Your feelings does not mean a bear market. Do you think LCX can hit $2? That's my parabolic target. Yes. $1 to $2. Bear markets do not start with Bitcoin dominance being in the 60s. Bear markets do not start with fear and greed being in the 20s. Bear markets do not start with sentiment being at an all-time low. Bear markets do not start with the stock market sentiment being bearish 5 weeks in a row. Bear markets do not start with you being above the 50-week moving average. Bear markets do not start with you being above the 2-week 20 EMA. Period, period, period. 7 reasons why. We 0 for 7. Ski, someone says bull run's over. Good. The beatings will continue until morale is improved. Do you think 4.8 liquidation on Uni is safe? Sup. Let me see. I think so. I mean, listen, I'm not giving you financial advice here. I think that that's pretty good. Yeah. I think that's a strong, you got a strong possibility there. Anything could happen, but I think that that's a pretty safe number. Ski, I'm still buying ETH, Link, Dot, Filecoin. I don't like Filecoin of that list, but, you know, I think it's a solid project, but I think it has a little bit too much inflation. But the rest of them, I think, are criminally undervalued. I think Filecoin will probably do fine, honestly. It might still do a 5x, but I think it could have done a lot better than it did if it wasn't for the inflation. These prices are as low or lower than the bear market. Again, the total 3. Listen, this is the difference between feelings, but it feels so low, Ski, and facts. Let me give you the facts. February of 2021, before the bear market started, or before the bull market started, before euphoria started, before alt season started, Bitcoin already did a 10x and pulled back 32%. The total 3, aka everything that is not Bitcoin and Ethereum, was at their bear market lows in February of 2021 before it then went euphoric. The difference between feelings and facts, the difference between data and reason. Link prediction, $78. Thoughts on Polkadot? I think Polkadot will do well. NFTs, that's right. The NFTs are on sale right now. 2 of them get you lifetime access to my exclusive group, where you get my holdings, my calls, my sells, my trades, books that have helped me, meditations that have helped me, and a kick-ass community, as well as I upload there weekly. Lifetime access. That's right. So $38 is my low case for Link. $78 is my medium, and $178 is my bull case. Do you see 79K before upside? I'm not like screaming at that. I don't. I think that we're working on a higher low right now. I don't think that 76 gets taken out. So 79 could be in the cards. But I think currently right now, structurally, we're working on a higher low. ICP predictions. Thanks for the hearts. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you XRP hits $5 this cycle? Pretty damn confident. I would say 9. I'm pretty confident that that happens. Market cap peaks Q2 or Q4? I think Q4. I think Q4. By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, I'm live on the tube if you want to see my charts and get the better viewing experience. You guys have lost your chart privileges for the next 6 months from me. I told you yesterday I wasn't playing games. ICP prediction. What is, I think, $30 to $100. And that's not a range. That is a or. $1 or $2 for Doge. Thoughts on Arrow? Too much inflation for me. I'm not a fan. I think it has great technology, a great community, but that doesn't equal price. Too much inflation. Price equals supply plus demand. Near, I think we'll do a 5x. Thoughts on Coolado? What is the ticker for that, John? I've never seen that one before. Ondo, same as Arrow. Ondo and Arrow I view very similarly. I've been pretty bearish on both of those. Ondo, Arrow, and Sui I've been bearish on since November. I think they've relatively bottomed, you know what I mean, locally. And I think they're going to move upside, but I don't think they're going to do what people think they're going to do, if that makes sense. Like, I think 2 to like 3x is what you should be aspiring for with Ondo, Sui, Arrow, not a 20x. You know what I mean? If your expectations are 2 to 3x with those coins, I think it's fine. If your expectations are 20, 30x, I think you're going to be disappointed. ICO 415. So it's brand new. Is that what you're saying, John? Oh. Super charts. 1 to 10 on ICP reaching 48. I'm going to give that a 7.5. What do you recommend then? I can't recommend anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I have my favorite value plays. that have low inflation and good charts and good fundamentals. But, you know, nothing in life is guaranteed. But I can't recommend anything. I'm not a financial advisor. But I have my top value plays. And how I estimate if something is a top value play, I like for it to be below the 236 on the Fibonacci. That is a stipulation number one. I like it to have low inflation, meaning they're not dumping supply on your head. They're not dumping supply on your head. That's stipulation number two. And then number three is, are they doing something fundamentally? How much are the Solink NFTs? 0.25 Solana each. So if they do all three of those, if they meet those criteria, I will add them to the value list. If they're below the 236 with good tokenomics, aka low to no inflation, and they're doing something. I don't care what they're doing, but they're doing something. That will be what I add to my top value list. Dano. My top value list are Solnik, News, H&T, ADA, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Naka, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, XYO, Hehe, Crow, Phantom, One, and Link. Those are my top value plays as of the time of recording. This is a fluid list. I'm not married to this list. If something pumps out of this list, it will be removed. If something dumps into this list, it could be added. This is a fluid list. Did you not add X and O? X and O as well. X and O has been added. Did you say VeChain? I did say VeChain. VeChain is definitely on the list. VeChain is my favorite blue chip play right now, as far as like large market caps. LCX price prediction, $1 to $2. Price prediction for ADA, 2, 4, 6, 8. Damn it. That's too many. All right. Low, medium, high. 4, 6, and 8. 50 people watching, but less than 20 likes. Come on, people. Come on, man. Did you say VeChain? Yes. Did I miss anything? Yeah, if you're watching on TikTok, head over to the tube if you want the better viewing experience. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button. Ski, where's the music? The music's on YouTube. TikTok lost the good viewing experience privilege because you guys don't know how to act. Someone asked me, VeChain hitting 40 cents on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, so 20 is my bear case for VeChain. 40 cents is my medium case. So I'm going to give that a 6 or a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. J-O. Do you like dot prediction? Yes. Ski, how are we on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 out of 10. Do you do Link already? Yes. Link is a top value play right now. It's in my kids' portfolio, meaning it's a 10-year play for me. So I believe in Link not only for the next 12 months as far as price action. I think it's going to perform pretty well over the next 12 months. But I believe in Link for the next 10 years. So it's in my kids' portfolio, meaning it's a long-term hold for me. And I believe in it long-term. Good morning from Bangkok. Morgan. What's Solana price? My price prediction for Solana is $400 to $500. It's been that way for a long time. Link one day, 5,000 per coin. Maybe in a decade. Thoughts on price for Chronos after inflating supply, 70 billion token. I still think it's probably going to retrace. Listen, So here's my thoughts on the Kronos unburn. That's super shady, super sketchy. And two things can be true at one time. We will forget all about it when Kronos pumps. When Kronos makes a yearly high, we're going to forget all about it. I promise you. We will forget all about the unburn when Link makes an all-time high. So there's confluence between the 2618 micro and the macro 0.5 at 50 cents. I think that that's a very probable landing spot for Link, or excuse me, Kronos. I think it's less likely that it goes parabolic, but who knows? And really, realistically, we're going to forget all about the unburn when they start pumping again. What up, Ski? What's up, fam? Are we going to peak in May? I don't think so, Matt. I mean, some things will, but I think November is when the actual euphoric peak is, personally. Feeling less bullish on Hehe. Seems like Alex lost interest after the hack. I mean, that could be true. That's human nature to, you have a big L to kind of take a step back and lick your wounds a little bit. Altcoin season in April. There will be a run of sorts. I'm not going to say it's the actual alt season of Euphoria in April, but there's going to be a run of sorts in but between now and May. What about ETH? I think ETH is criminally oversold at this point. I don't like Ethereum, but I think it's, two things can be true. Like personal. Not technical, not fundamental. Personal. I don't like Ethereum. But two things can be true at one time. I think it is criminally oversold at this point, and I think it's going to perform very well over the next year. And I think it does gets near $7,000. What would you consider bad tokenomics? Double the FTV. So if you look at market cap and FTV, on any coin, just go on CoinMarketCap and look up the market cap and then look at the FTV. So I'm looking at Kava right now. The market cap currently, as of the time of recording, is 466.94 million, and the FTV is the same. So that I would consider to be good tokenomics, right? But if, let's say, Kava's market cap was 467 million, but the FTV was a billion, that would be bad. So ideally, you want it less than 20% of a difference. That's ideal, 25%. But it cannot be more than a double. It can't be more than 50%. Because if it's more than 50%, that means, fundamentally, what that means, if you measure true inflation, not what they report to us, but what is true inflation? True inflation is the national debt doubles every 4 years, right? And this is important, and it ties into the question. So if the national debt doubles every 4 years, then that, to me, is the true inflation on the US dollar. It doubles every 4 years, okay? So if the cryptocurrency does not beat the US dollar's inflation, it's a bad investment, in my opinion, because we're measuring it currently in US dollars. And so if it's outperforming or outpacing the US dollar's inflation, which to me is a double because the national debt doubles every 4 years, if it does more than that, it's not a good investment, in my personal opinion. That's just my personal strategy. Do with that information what you will. Did Alex lose all his Hehe? One of the accounts got wiped for a good bit of money, yeah. Can you unburn 20 million Solnic? I cannot unburn 20 million Solnic because we actually burned 20 million Solnic. How to avoid washout loss? Are you talking about for tax loss harvesting? Is that what you're talking about? XYO prediction, 10 to 20 cents. It's probably more likely that we retrace Jacob for Krill. Tap that screen. That's right. You think alt season will go crazy in October? October, November is my prediction. I think we have some like fun times in May, April, May. But I think the euphoric times are going to be in October, November. That is my prediction. By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, I am live on YouTube. If you want the best viewing experience, that is where I'm live. Can you look at the Rose chart? Where can I purchase Solnick? Rose is just working on accumulation. You can buy Solnick on Radium, Jupiter. Very, very soon you're going to be able to buy it using Google. But right now, Radium and Jupiter are easy ways. You can also buy it on Phantom Wallet, Soulflare Wallet. To me, those are the easiest ways. Just send Solana to Phantom or Soulflare and then swap it natively on the app. Is XRP and XLM a good buy today? That depends on your time horizon, Darcy. If I remember correctly, though, Darcy, weren't you here in like 2022? Are you an OG? Wait till April 1st, 2nd. I'm not. Ski, ETH more down from here? I don't think so. I think ETH is oversold at this point. When do you think the bull run is coming? Right, meow. The X looks pretty good also. That's right. We're live on X as well. I always forget that I'm live on X. Top values right now. Top value plays. Solnick, News, H&T, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Naka, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, XYO, Hehe, Crow, Phantom, 1, ADA, and Link and XNO. Those are my top personal value plays. Low to no inflation, good tokenomics, and good charts. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my favorite picks right now. What do you think about April 2nd? Is the market going more down? No. All right, so the saying is buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what you do when things are bullish, right? When you know preemptively, so I know in the future an event is going to take place that is good news, that should pump the markets. So the saying is buy the rumor, sell the news when you know of an event in the future that is going to be good for the markets. And the history would tell us that this is true. So what is the reverse of that when it's negative? When you know, when you're aware of a negative event in the future that's going to happen. What's the reverse of buy the rumor, sell the news when it's bullish? Sell the news, buy the event when it's bearish. Price prediction for Link. No war. Low, medium, high. $38 low. Medium, $78. High, $178. What if Trump comes out with new tariff? Okay. And then what? I don't care. I do not care. Do you think euphoria we felt this past November will be child's play? Yes. I don't think that it was even euphoria. Then we see a dip. What do you mean then? What? Okay. I'm going to say this again. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the event is not the thing that the markets do not like. Let me say it one more time. Get a pen and paper. Write this down. This will be on the quiz on Thursday afternoon, okay? We're just going to be a pop quiz. And if you fail this, it's going to be 20% of your grade. Write this down. Underline it. Highlight it. Write a smiley face next to it. Put a heart. Put a kissy face. The markets do not react negatively or positively to an event. It is the uncertainty that the markets do not like. Let me say it again. Write it down, circle it, highlight it, put a kissy face, put a smiley face. It is not the negative event that the markets do not like. It is the uncertainty that the markets do not like. A negative event can be negative until the market is certain that it is negative, i.e., the war in Israel. World War III in 2023 was shoved down our throat until the market got used to there is actually a war. And then guess what? It was no longer negative. And whether you like tariffs, whether you like the Orange Man or not, I don't care. But I have news for you. Tariffs are not worse than World War III. They are not. I would argue the market is either A, no longer uncertain about tariffs, or B, as close as you can get. Thoughts on Link? I like Link. I hope Solana goes that low. Ski ETH down 45% in Q1. Why acting so differently? I think Solana's eating its lunch money is what's happening. I think people are figuring out that Solana is a better product. That Jamal guy is saying Solana going to $40, XRP going to 60 cents in May. Listen. I'm not going to speak negatively on any creator. But what I will say is there are creators that exist. In 2023, when the market was bearish and the market sucked. Thank you for the galaxy. And the war was going on. Right? The markets were in the dumps and World War III was on our doorstep, right? Everyone remember that? Bitcoin was at 25K. I made videos on 9/12/2023, aka one day after the after the Israel war started, one day after the war started, and the local bottom was 9/11/2023. Just to show you proof, I'm gonna bring it in. So right here, Bitcoin pulls back from 31K to 25K on 9/11/2023. On 9/12/2023, you can go look at my videos. I made a video 9/12/2023 that this was a local bottom. This is what a bottom feels like. Here is XYZ reason why. Go look at my video. 9/12. I'm giving you the date. 9/12/2023. I said that the war in Israel was a local bottom. Here's XYZ reason why. There are creators, I'm not going to say who, but there are creators who commented on those videos and said, that's not how you do TA. That's my thoughts. There are also creators who said that when I was making bullish videos at 16K, there's creators who said that at 20K. There are creators who said that right here. So there you go. I know of I am aware personally of, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm aware of 4 creators who were publicly bullish in 2022 and 2023. 5. I'm aware of 5 creators who were publicly bullish in 2022, 2023. Does this mean that we are the end all be all, know all? We never get anything wrong? Does this mean that the people who were bearish in 2023 and 2022 will never get anything right and they can't grow and evolve? No, that's not what that means. But here is the list of creators that I am personally aware of in 2022 and 2023 who was publicly bullish. In no particular order. Alex Costa. Calvin Hill. Waters Above. Blockchain Backer. And myself. End of list. End of list. In the heat of battle, in the worst of times, when Bitcoin was at its low, when sentiment was at its low, that's the end of the list. Period. Does that mean I'm always going to be right? Does that mean Alex is always going to be right? Does that mean that Blockchain Backer is always going to be right? Calvin Hill is always going to be right? Waters Above is always going to be right? Nope. It does not mean that. Does that mean the creators who were bearish, face-meltingly bearish in 2022 and 2023 will always be wrong or they can't grow and evolve? Nope, it doesn't mean that either. We cooked? No. The only type of cooked we are is A5 Wagyu Sizzle and Sear. That's the only cooked we are. All right, so there you go. That's the end of the list. Is Sonic still following Bitcoin? It looks like Bitcoin's following Sonic. He's been dead on, called the top in December. Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, if you're bearish every day, I'm not going to talk negative about people. I just know that there were creators who would comment on my videos who had way more followers than me back then, because I had like 5,000 back then. And they said, that's not how you do TA. That's what they said. I'm not going to say it was him or wasn't him, but there were definitely creators who were doing that in 2022 and 2023. This is what I'll say too. I wasn't bearish on Bitcoin in November and December, but I was bearish on Penlink. I was bearish on Sui. I was bearish on Land Wolf. I was bearish on many coins at the absolute top. Publicly. Hey, man, what's up? Honey, a goodbye. I'm not a huge fan of Honey. Will VeChain go lower? I don't think so. Lower than what? Same people that didn't call the top in December? Not true. Alex definitely did. Alex definitely did. And what happens when this is a bear trap? What happens then, Amy? What happens when this is what December is going to look like? What happens when this is December? What happens then, Amy? Are we gonna like go back and be like, he called the top? Is that what we're gonna say? Because the top's not in. The local top is in. There's a difference. So this is January. How long? This is many months right here. This is a year right here. I was screaming from the mountaintops in November and December to take profit on Sui, Arrow, Ondo, Penlink, Landwolf, Andy, like, my God, how many other coins was I saying, for the love of God, take profits on? Penlink. I already have one wallet. You have to send in Solana and then you redeem them. Yeah, listen. I'm not saying that Jamel is this type of person. I'm not saying he's this type of person. I'm not accusing Jamel of being this type of person. But generally what you will find out of bears is they are always bearish. And then when it finally comes to fruition, yes, we got it right. I'll give you a good example of a bear who's like this. Our good old buddy Michael Burry is like this, and he gets credit for being a genius, right? Michael Burry gets credit for being a genius, right? For timing the 2008 top, right? I'm going to show you who it is. This guy right here. He gets credit for timing the 2008 top, and he started shorting the market at the absolute top, and my God, he's bearish now. We better look out. Except the part that they don't tell you, the part that they don't tell you about our favorite bear of all time is he started shorting the market in 2005, not 2008. In 2005, Michael Burry started shorting the market with billions of dollars and was face meltingly wrong for 2.5 years before he was actually correct. And if it would have been me or you who was not investing with institutional money, we would have gotten liquidated. And he's bearish every year. He was bearish in 2005. He was bearish in 2006. He was bearish in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Woo! He called the recession. He called the 2022 recession. That's how bears work, man. That's how bears work. That's how they operate. If you are bearish every day, one day you'll be correct. One day you will be correct. Amy, I don't got nothing against you or anyone. I'm just saying to be wary of bears, because this is a tendency that we like. This is, and I'm not saying about anyone. I'm saying about Michael Burry. Michael Burry is the most famous bear and gets all the credit for being correct, even though he started shorting the market in 2005, not 2008. That's all I'm saying. It's just like, just know how bears move. Know how bulls move. Bulls are the opposite. They're always bullish. Bullish, 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 and then one day they're correct. Know how bulls move. Know how bears move. That way you can make a reasonable, articulable conclusion. Really, you should come up with your own synopsis, but if you're going to be influenced by other people and listen to other people, you should just know their perspective of how they move. That's all I'm advocating for Amy and for everyone. I'd love to cage fight you. If you want to get the brakes beat off you, run it. If you want to get the brakes beat off you, go ahead. Run it. If you love getting the brakes beat off you. Says you're not a crypto expert at all. I don't know, bro. Call at the bottom on the day. Video evidence. Documented. I've been in crypto for 10 years. I have owned crypto for 10 years. I have video evidence. Documented. Called the bottom on the day. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to humbly brag upon myself. Where is my damn chart? You're not a crypto expert. You don't confirm my bias. You don't say that me selling the bottom was the right move. I called the bottom on the day. Video evidence. When Bitcoin pulled back from 25K to 20K when Silicon Valley Bank went to zero, I said it was a local bottom. Video evidence. I said I would shave my head if we went lower than 20K. Video evidence. Documented. 9/12/2023, right after the war in Israel, Bitcoin pulls back from 31K back to 25K. I said it was a local bottom. I will shave my head if we go lower. And I said we would go to $48,000 by the end of the year, or I will shave my face. Boom, we went to 48K by the end of the year. Germany, Mt. Gox. I said it was a local bottom. We immediately did a 40% move in 2 weeks. Japan, I said it was a local bottom. I said we wouldn't go any lower, and I said we would reach 80K by Christmas. The real number's 100K, or I will shave my face. Come on now. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to brag upon myself. If I'm not a crypto expert, you let me know what is. You let me know. Listen, I make mistakes. I get things wrong. I admit my mistakes. I admit when I'm wrong. I will put my track record hands down against anybody. Period. 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 Anybody. Anybody. With all of my, I can count when I had a misread on one hand, and I admitted to it. But even with the 2 times that I've had a misread, put that against anybody. 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 Dano, could you help out Earl on TikTok, please? Says, settle down, ponytail. Trying to hide it. I don't know, bro. If you're going to come at me, you better at least be, I don't know. You better at least be a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and you better be benching, squatting, deadlifting at least 3 Cadillacs. Yeah, you better at least do that. What's the question just got here? Someone said I'm not a crypto expert, so I just went through my track record over the last 4 years. Do you think we see another 10% dip in Bitcoin? We will 100% see another 10% dip in Bitcoin. If you're asking me, do I think we'll see it right this second? I don't know about that. We will 100%. I guarantee you we'll see another 10% dip in Bitcoin. Has anyone heard from Meg lately? Funny story. No. Meg is no longer... Louder, please! My friend Ski. I want to be a savage. I'm just here for the entertainment. Come for the entertainment. Stay for the TA. I'm bullish when the market is down. Ski will open up a can of Stone. And that's the bottom line. My teacher said that crypto is pointless. Can you tell me he's wrong? Your teacher said that when Bitcoin was at 16K. Your teacher said that when Bitcoin was at 20K. Your teacher said that when Bitcoin was at 25K. I know for a fact he did. That's my brother. And he really did say that Bitcoin was stupid at 16K. April historically is one of the most bullish months, isn't it? That is correct. He really did that. XRP $5 to $8. Once I click on the NFT, I don't see a purchase button. Damn, we got to 43,000 likes, y'all. I'm money poor, trying to sell some stocks to buy some more crypto. I'm more bullish on crypto than I am the stock market. My wife's boyfriend just asked me to turn down the volume on the phone. I sold 2 clunkers. Put it straight into Solnick. Let's go. You said tariffs were the bottom as well. Well, it hasn't taken effect yet. I did say that. And again, I made a video. That's my only misread of the last 4 years. I made a video about it. I said I was wrong. It's on YouTube right now. You can look at it. I was wrong. I misread the market. But I do think that the tariffs will be the bottom. It just hasn't happened yet. That is what I said. This is one time, the one time where I had a misread over the last 4 years. And guess what? I owned it. I acknowledged it. Oh. Could I explain XRP in NCAA forms? Explain XRP in NCAA forms. Okay. I can definitely do this in the NFL. I don't know if I can do this in NCAA. I'm trying to think. NCAA. What is XRP in NCAA? I can definitely explain XRP in NFL. I don't know that I can do it in NCAA. I would say it's Texas football is what it is. Like a lot of hype. And they're like a cult-like following. Or not Alabama, because Alabama has the championships to back it up. Cult-like following. Always a little bit too hype. But pretty good, right? They got 5 stars. But they kind of always underperform what they should. But if you're asking me, what is XRP in NFL terms? It's the Dallas Cowboys. We them boys. They're the Steelers. That's right. Your boy Ski, you're looking trim, my man. I don't know what that means, but I love it. I don't know what that means, but I love it. Why does the tariff news feel worse than FTX news for crypto? I think it's because of our expectations, right? I think that's a good analysis because we were already just skidding for an entire year by the time FTX. And it was like, my God, I guess this too, where everyone wants alt season. Everyone is like, really, like no one was clamoring for alt season by the time this happened. So this was terrible when it happened, but this feels worse because everyone is just on edge, just like, oh my God, when are we getting the alt season? XRP would be the New England Patriots. XRP would be the New England Patriots today, present day. If you had to give Solnick a human comp, who would it be? Miles bleeping Garrett. Real life superhero. Do you think SEC lawsuit really held back XRP's growth? Yeah, for sure. It definitely would have went parabolic in 2021 if it was not for that. It probably would have done $5 or $8 in 2021 if it was not for the lawsuit. Yes, I do think that that was real. And I do think that it was really a, Operation Chokehold of trying to suppress crypto and the war on crypto. Like, that's a real thing, and that's really coming out. So, but I don't think it would have went to like $5.89 or anything crazy. I think it would have went to $5 in 2021 rather than like whatever it got. I think it got to $2. That's what I think. How long did you accumulate XRP? Man, long time. Since 2018, I was accumulating. I was buying. I bought all 2018, 2019, 2020. I didn't really buy in 2021. I was selling. I didn't really sell XRP in 2021, though. But I sold most of the rest of my crypto in 2021. Not at the absolute top, but I sold at near the top. 50K was the average of when I sold all my crypto. And then I was buying aggressively in 2022 again. Just wanted to say hello to the best crypto YouTuber, Ski. I appreciate you, bro. That's a long time. Patience. Patience is a virtue. All right, guys. I think that is going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never, ever, ever, never message you first. Those are scammers. Do not get scammed. I'm not going to message you and ask you for money. I have nothing to sell you. All right, guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.